Oh, I might be undead. So, how you doing tonight, Serbius?
I'm doing all right.
Cool. Well,
Just
thank
another
you so
day.
much for joining me on how to create a character in Legends of Kratos. So hopefully you'll come up with all the
Absolutely.
newbie answers, newbie questions that I don't know because you're a noob. You're a noob.
Yeah. Yep. Very much so a noob.
So, what you normally play D&D? Is that it, or do you play other systems?
Right now I've only been playing D&D 5e for probably the last 6 months. But in the past I've played quite a few other systems. Um, Call of Cthulhu, Serenity,
Oh, I love
Pathfinder,
Serenity's awesome.
um,
Is that the one that's
Numenera.
the Serenity? Is that the Monty Cook one or the Margaret Weiss version?
Oh,
There's two versions
um,
of it.
I don't remember which one it was off the top of my head. I would have to go grab my box with all my stuff in it.
Because one of them is really good about using the ship as its own, and then the other one kind of ignores the ship. Like the ship has got its own personality, which I think is really kind of cool.
Uh, oh no, no, no. We definitely had the ship because I actually played the male version of Kaylee. I was the engineer and took care of all of that stuff.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, that one's the best one. I think that is the Margaret Weiss one. I think I'd have to actually go look it up. So I'm going to create a character because I want to create a character because it needs to be on YouTube so people know how to create a character.
Awesome.
Normally I could create a character in my head like in like 10 minutes, but since you're here, we'll take some time and learn how to do it. So normally this shouldn't take you once you get used to the system, shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes at most to actually create a actual Legends of Kratos character. Because what you need to start off with is an archetype, right? So
Yeah.
we'll use you. What kind of character do you like to normally play? What's your archetype thing that you like to play,
Rogue.
Kirby? Rogue. Right on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like, do you like? Why do you like the rogue? I'm like, why do you
Um,
like the rogue?
the Rogue was when I originally started playing tabletop RPG stuff. Rogue was kind of what I did. I started with, and I fell in love with that roguey, stealthy, steal everything kind of character.
Right on. So you should have this on your screen that you should be able to see because I'm live streaming it to you, right? So
Yep.
you can see where I'm at. So normally what you'll start off with is on page 15, which is the character generation, which goes through the summary and all that other stuff where you put your points and it gives you page numbers and what to look for and all this other stuff. Normally when we're like at conventions, people don't read this and they think it's more complicated than it is. We're like, no, we're just going to skip that because you're here with us. We're going to create a character. But normally this is where you would start. And there's like a whole bunch of different steps here. And then we give, an idea of where the character, where you put everything on the character sheet. So it's kind of cool that way. The big thing that helps is this attribute determination sheet down here. Right, this bad boy right here. This helps just ease the smoothness through everything. I even use it because it's just easier to work like that. So do you like? So my next question then is because Legends of Kratos, you can be any size and be a thief. Obviously, the smaller you are, the less likely you're going to get seen. But that doesn't mean that you can't be a 8 foot bahul and pickpocket somebody in Shiva. But it would be a little more. Well, actually, no. I mean, you could bump into them, kind of like like you run into somebody who's smaller than you. You pick them up because you don't want to hurt them, and they fall to the ground. You kind of pickpocket them at that. You could do that. However, no, I mean, yeah. Now I think about it, yeah, you could be a Bahul and stuff. Do you want to play? Do you want to look at the species?
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
What I haven't looked at any of the really character species.
All right, so what we have here is the quick species reference, right? This just gives you a physical a glimpse at the physical size of each of the different species, all the way from a series all the way down to trolls. And what we tried to do is we tried to make sure there was a representation of each of the species. So there's 3 large, I think there's 3 small, and then everybody else is medium-sized large. And we don't base anything off of species other than that. So like all your hit points, your health points, are actually based off your size, not your species. Now some species get a little bonus, but not much.
Interesting.
Do you want me to zoom in?
Yeah, if you could a little bit.
Absolutely. How's that? Does that work?
Yeah, perfect.
Normally, when I'm playing a rogue, I'll either go a series. Obviously, I'll go a series, Elwyn. I'll stay away from the Balian, though they could probably be really good ones. And then I also play a Kova or the Mannix. Now, Mannix are very cool. There are mouse folk for all intents and purposes. Tajahu, they could be good thieves as well. I'm just scrolling, so whatever catches your eye, just go with what you think is cool. We'll do that.
Scroll down a little bit again.
Sure.
What is Havattu?
Havattu, they are a cousin relation to the Kova and the Rakas. They were a mutated gene linealogy that was once the ancient species of the Kova, and they got involved in some wars with Chaos and were cursed by Chaos, and the ancient species that were the Kova divided into the Havattu and the Raka. Havattu they're small humanoids. They're about 3 foot at their tallest.
Okay, that sounds like a good decision. Let's go with the
Havattu.
Havattu.
Brilliant. All right. So we'll go through this a little bit slowly. So it opens up with a story. So the whole book, throughout the book, has actually got a story about this group of adventurers who end up going to this island of the undead. And the very first story you read, which is way back here, is them escaping that island. But you've got to read the story of how they get to that island. So it's kind of like, here's what happens, and you know that they might die, but you're not sure. And then the stories go through each one of them on how they get to that island, which is, we kind of did the backwards prequel, I guess. I don't know, which I thought was kind of cool. And this one is about Bishop when he was younger and how he got thrown in jail when he was 10 because, kids and thieves. So we have the series. There's 2 pages for each species all the way through. We have the Elwyn. We have the Balian, which are masters of energy and justice of reality. And I actually think Dice Maven is actually creating a Balian character. So it'll be interesting. You have the Bahul, which are not Minotaurs. They are not Minotaurs. I actually have a monstrous species that are monsters that are called Minotaurs, that are Bahul, that have gone insane and or are born cursed. So they're not good. They're not good. We have the Kova. Interestingly enough, the Kova have 2 hearts and a hard rigid head. That one of our players needed a weapon, and so he cast spiritual weapon on his head and used it as a weapon. So we have Furbogs, and then we have the Havattu. Now, Havattu are known as the mad mages of Ardaga, which are Aradga, which is technology in a sense. They are so if you were to look at each of the 3 species, the Kova, the Havattu, and the Rakas, the Kova have both warrior-like tendencies and construction tendencies in them. The Havattu are a more distilled version of them, while the Rakos are a more aggressive version of them. So they got split somewhere. Havattu don't trust people at all. They are not friendly. They're friendly enough, but they're not. They don't trust people. They just don't trust other individuals. And what's cool about them is, depending on what you choose for your species ability, you can start off with a Clockwork Companion. So we will go to the character sheet. We'll scroll up here. We will pick our species. We will go with small. Do you want to make a first rank, or do you want to make a higher rank? First rank?
Let's start brand new character,
All
first
right.
rank.
And they do not have a cultural subspecies, but they do have houses. So so we could. Do you want to make up a name for the house, or do you want to use these names that we've got here? We have these surnames, which are very important to Havattu. So you can be of house. What seems to appeal to you?
Just looking through them here.
All right, come here. Rex, come here. Not you. Come here, Rex. Bandit, go away. Come here. Rex, come here. Come on. You want to come up? Come on.
That's amazing.
Heart Shadow.
Munkat?
Yes, that's the one.
House of Munkat? All right. So we'll put that in there as the House of Munkat. I think that's how it's spelled, right? Yep. And what about a first name? Any of those appeal to you?
Vidua,
Who? Say again?
the last one.
Vidua?
Vidua?
Vidua. Right on. So Vidua, right? That's how it's spelled, Vidua. UA. Vidua. Right? Yeah, Vidua. Of House. I misspelled that, didn't I? It's just with an N. Yeah, I misspelled that. See, I'm stupid. Munkat. All right. So we've got our basic standards. So we'll go ahead and start on this. So when you first create a character in Legends of Kratos, the first things you need to determine is where to put these things that are called the features, species features. There is a space on the character sheet, which is on the second page, where we have the species and features traits. And in where you're creating this, will tell you that here you want to put things like your language bonuses and all that other stuff. So we'll just kind of begin with this. We know that they're small creatures. They have night vision. If I'm going too fast, tell me to slow down.
Nope, you're good.
They have night vision, so we'll figure that out later. We'll get to your special abilities in a minute. And as a language, you get to speak starting off the game with your native language, Kovayish, Korshan, and either Elven or Common. So which one do you want to speak? Elven or
Common.
I'm sorry, not Elven. Elven or Common?
Common.
Common? That's so boring. All right, cool.
You
And
gotta understand people.
Common. And Common is actually kind of it is a like an English based language. It's the common language everybody speaks, whatever that language looks like. But it is kind of like a pigeon language, if that makes sense. It's got a combination of, it's like Spanglish but Kraelish. If that makes any sense, right? It's
Yeah.
all these different terms in it, but yeah. And then there's an ancient common that is more pure than without pigeon in it. But yeah, that exists. All right, and you have no resistances. You gain a plus 15 to your alertness checks and plus 4 heroic luck, which is going to be important soon. So we'll go to alertness and give you a plus 15 there as we start. Then plus 4 heroic luck, and we'll pop this up here with plus 4 here, because that's going to come important. Heroic luck is probably beyond health and fatigue points, is probably one of the key components of the Legends of Kratos because it allows you to do anything. You ever play Savage Worlds?
No, I don't think I did.
There is a there's a concept called beanies in Savage Worlds, and that's probably what it's more like. It's heroic like. It allows you to change roles and other things like that. And then you have this ability called shared thoughts. You can literally telepathically speak with other people as a standard natural ability.
That's interesting.
And then you can address multiple targets with an appropriate willpower check. One per additional target above. So you could talk. So like normally, the Havattu don't speak. What they do is they talk to each other via their brains, via their minds. They just words for them is actually hey Mystic is actually a for them to actually sit there and talk to you about their ideas is a waste of time for them. So they'd rather just communicate directly with your mind. Just okay, here's my idea. You're like, oh, I got it, right? That's where that is.
That is interesting.
Now,
Could that be used for like spying on someone?
absolutely, why not?
Rogue spy. Yep. I'm already forming thoughts over here.
Right on. All right, now you get to choose two. Every species has two species abilities they're just inborn with. It doesn't matter if you were raised with a whole bunch of humans or a whole bunch of Rakas or a whole bunch of Bahul. Your species is innately born with these abilities, for the most part, right? So I'll go through each one of these. So you get to choose two. You have Beguiling Liar, which gives you bonus successes when you are attempting to convince, gamble, or haggle other people. You're like smooth talker. Child of the Mist, which means that you've, if you can read it, has developed a knack for disappearing and finding easy concealment. So all concealment and cover penalties against you increase by -10. And additionally, it looks like you also get a +5% or +5, or you have a 5% chance every other rank of attacks just simply missing you to a maximum of 25%. You could choose to have a Clockwork Companion, right? You know how to build this, and you instinctively build it. It's not like it's just born with you, but you instinctively know how to do that. Over here, you have Curiosity. Gives you a +10 to any fear checks, and also gives you a +10 to the sleight of hand skill, which is a roguish ability. If you are should you begin the turn affected by fear, you're able to reduce the severity of the fear affected by frightened to scared and scared to troubled, because some of those fears can actually stop you from moving or cause you to move in a panic retreat, right? Additionally, it looks like if we start in an urban setting, once per day, you may roll on the minor art item treasure table to determine what small item you may have. Hey, you don't need that. Thank you. Picked up. Fleet of Foot helps you go from 10 feet per movement to 15, so you're a little faster walking. Havattu Engineering, your technical skill is such that you gain a +50 to all attempts to build, repair, or engineer machines of any kind. It's like someone picks up the Rubik cube, right? Okay, I'm done. What? It's just stupid. And then, so the Havattu equipment is not something you're born with. It's something you put together. You have this natural, innate desire to put this together. And so you would start off with 2 Dokal crystals, a mechanic lens, mechanic tools, oil, 3 spools of copper, brass and bronze wire, a filter mask, and an iron casing lighter. A lighter that's in an iron case. You're a gibber, which means that you can basically talk someone's ear off to the point to where they just become confused. Like, stop talking, you're hurting my brain. And then I didn't give you this option, but you do have the option to actually. There's only a 2% chance, so we'd have to actually roll for it to be a Havattu, which is a rare genetic kind of weirdness, I guess, that allows you to actually increase your size. It's very rare. It's only 2% of the population. So you'd have to roll an Ot 1 through Ot 2 on a D100. Do you want to try that, or do you want to just do normal?
No, we'll just go with normal for now.
All right, very cool. All right,
That's actually really cool, though, that there's just a 2% chance.
Yeah, they're very rare, and they're slightly larger, and I think they are. I think they're actually like
Stronger?
they're
Is that what that's
stronger.
said?
They are stronger, but they are also a different skin color. I think they have like a whiteness to them. If that makes any sense, they're lighter skinned, like
Bit
moonlight,
pale.
like pale.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I just found an error. Ooh, wrong one. Move that over there. Grab this over here. There we go. Awesome. All right. So, what of the special abilities do you want for your character?
Child of the Mist, definitely.
All right, Child of the Mist. And so this would go down here in your abilities, right? So your first two abilities will be things that you do. So there is a, and what's cool is the downloadable versions of this. These are all the character sheets are fillable, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
So we will just take minus 10 bonus. Is it a minus 10 bonus, or is it a minus 10 bonus to conceal and cover, and a 5% chance of simply being missed in an attack. Max 25%. So you could have up to a 25% chance. So that's still cool. So when you get attacked, you get to roll that first, and if you're successful, the attack simply misses you, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. So that's cool.
That's really cool, yeah.
All right. And your second ability.
Scroll back down.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it was the Curiosity.
All right. Curiosity killed the Havattu, but Satisfaction brought him back. All right, so you gain a plus 10 to any fear checks. And we'll go right up here. Right up here on the character sheet is where we have our checks. We're going to just put a plus 10 there. So when we get there, we can know how to determine it fairly quickly. And then you gain a plus 10 to sleight of hand skill. You didn't pick this for the fear or the sleight of hand skill, did you? You picked it because of the minor item treasure table, did you? That's what this. I see. You can't fool me. I see what you're doing. I see through your shenanigans. Plus,
I mean, yeah, the -5 or the fear check ability is cool, but and the sleight of hand is always nice, but that yeah, that's actually the really cool part of that attribute or ability.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. Rolling -13 of treasure. Awesome. All right, so character selection done. We get to move on.
All right. So what's next?
So, like I said, so once you get an idea of in your head, it's just a matter of figuring out what species you want to go to, right? So, we'll go through this a little slowly. This is a story about Jennick, who actually built a crab mechanoid to help protect a small village, and it goes through how he actually does it. So, trying to get people involved, give them a little bit of setting kind of stuff. So we have the droll humans. Got to have humans. But no, humans are actually kind of cool because they actually start off with heroic luck. Humans begin play automatically with 10 heroic luck right off the
Oh,
bat.
that's even better.
Yeah, and it's awesome. They're also adaptable learners, meaning they gain 3 additional free starting skills when they play. And one of the big things that's really awesome about them is they have this ability called the Generalist, and only 2 other species have this ability. It allows your species, to take focuses from other focuses, and we'll get to that in a minute, without paying the additional 500 merit that requires for you to cross your focus, which is kind of cool. Actually helps with that. And they also got courage in the bottle for those times when they're drunk. Look at you.
Yeah, I
Anyways,
know.
so we have the Jakara. They are not tabaxi. They're not tabaxi. They're not. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Every cat person out there now, everybody thinks they're that cat persons are tabaxis. That's just not good feeling. We have Canis. And so just to be, here's the funny part. The Canis and the Jakara are my homage to the Thundercats. Right? Because if you look at the Jakara, you have Leonis, Lynx, which are they're smaller species, the Pantera, which are panthers, Tigris, which are tigress versions, and then the Sabatori, which are the saber-toothed tigers. They are the largest of the species. They tend to be mostly priests, though. But yeah, you can play that. We got Canis. You can play Aroka, which is also a small version of them. The Manix. We actually have a party. I don't know if I told you this. I don't know if you know this. On Thursdays from 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. my time, which is 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. in England. I have 3 players there that are actually playing. And they're playing, I kid you not, a Canis Robur, a Sabatori Jakara, and a Manix. We have Tom and Jerry.
That is hilarious.
We have the Rakos. The Rakos are, like I said, they are a mutated cousin of the Kova. They've got a lot of honor to them, but they have this yeah, they're not monsters, but they look monstrous. We have the Siliph, which, by the way, can change their sex on a daily basis. They can be female one day, male the another day. They can be neither, whatever. They're very fluid. But they were Tajahu, which we're about to get to as soon as my keyboard wakes up. They were Tajahu that screwed around and found out what happens when you take elemental magic and you mix it with dark magic. You get that.
Gotcha.
And then finally, the trolls. Not like the Dungeons and Dragons trolls, more like the trolls underneath the bridge. These guys are they got these. The older the troll, the more ram horn they've got, so they get thicker and thicker, right? And then they also get more and more tattoos that demonstrate who they are, tell stories about where they've been, and those kind of things. And they're the only species that can regenerate themselves, except for their head.
Get in.
That is interesting. So basically, if they get hit anywhere other than the head, then they can regenerate. But if they get hit in the head, they can't.
Yeah, if they're decapitated, they can't regenerate. But
Okay.
they can regenerate lost arms, lost legs. There's a going on joke between me and another friend who played a troll who actually got stuck at the bottom of a well that collapsed on him. We still think to this day he's regenerating and dying every day. We're not sure, but we think that's what's happening. All right, so now we're going to. Do you have dice, or do you want me to roll? Or
I can grab. I've got them right here.
awesome. All right, give me
I
a
always
second.
have dice within reach.
All right, so what you're gonna need 4d10. We're going to do the standard generation method here for attributes. Now, as a small creature, you start off with a base of 40 strength and a base of 40 stamina. But your agility and your perception are much higher because you're, the big bad world you got to be aware of. Every species starts off with the same mental attributes of 50 points across the base.
Okay.
And then you're going to roll your dice 8 times. You're going to tell me what they are. And I want you to re-roll any ones, drop the lowest, and then add them together. And then
All right.
we'll put them wherever you
So
want.
4d10 minus the
No.
lowest.
Yeah, so roll 4d10.
All right.
Re-roll any ones.
All right. There was one.
And
All
drop
right.
the lowest
So
and add all those together, and then add those together.
that would be 28.
Oh, brilliant. 28. Next one. Just do that 8 times and just tell me the total.
25.
You're cheating over there.
I will show you the dice
I'm
because
teasing you. I'm teasing you. You actually should be rolling pretty high, to be honest with you.
22.
Brilliant.
$14.
There's an average roll.
26. 20. 23.
And one more.
19.
19. All right, so now that you've got those, you should be able to see my screen, yeah?
Yep.
All right. So as a roguish type-like character, the thing that you want to worry about is your agility, your perception, and generally your willpower is what's going to be important to you as a rogue. However, you can throw that advice right out the window and do whatever you want. But now you get to assign all these scores how you want, wherever you want. You just tell me which one, where.
All right. So agility would be the top one. So 28 to the agility. You said wits or willpower?
So willpower and perception are going to be your two. Are your like your 3 ones, right?
All right. So let's do 26 willpower and 25 perception.
All right. Right.
Um,
Now I'll warn you. There really is no true dump stat. You can have a stat that
yeah.
is not important to your character, yes, but it's all the attributes are important at some point.
Okay. Let's go with 20 stamina.
Cheese or no cheese?
Cheese. Yes. Yes.
23 charisma.
Okay.
Go 22 intelligence, 19 to the wits, and 14 to strength.
That's your dump stat, huh? All right. So these are your basic rolls. Now, we're gonna go ahead and add a species modifier to this. Now, you can do it one of two things. You can either go with the standard species modifiers, right? So for the Havattu, you get a +10 to any two. strength, agility, intelligence, or wits, or you could do. I'll allow you to do this more flexible ability to choose how you want your character to be. So you could gain +10 to any 2 and a +5 to any 1, which honestly is a little bit more powerful. Not much. It's only +5 than the standard, but it's your choice.
All right. So obviously, let's just go standard
Okay.
way of doing it since we're creating a brand new character. So agility and intelligence.
Agility and intelligence. All right. So +10 here and +10 here. Awesome. All right. So now we're gonna get into the next thing here. We're gonna choose your character focus. Right. Focuses are as close to classes as we actually get. They basically help you define what your character is about. And since you're going rogue, you're gonna do the stealth focus. But you don't have to do that, right? You can decide, you know what? I want to be combat focused, and I want to be I want to be kind of like a fighter thief. Okay, cool. You can go knowledge focus and kind of be like a spellcaster thief. You can go social focus and be a silver-tongued thief, a bardish thief, whatever. But if you want to go pure rogue, 100% pure rogue, and dip into the Jin Hur, or even tap into the shadow abilities, stealth focus is where you want to go. But it is your choice.
Definitely stealth focus.
All right, stealth focus.
Although having like knowledge focus with like shadow spells would be cool too.
Right.
But
So here's the thing though. Due to the focuses, so let's say since you're going stealth focus, all the abilities have what's called a merit point cost, right? You get to set your own experience tables in Legends of Kratos. So one rank, it could take you forever to get to the next rank, but the next rank after that could take you very short time. Depends on what you're doing. You can decide to take stealth focus and then take some combat focus abilities, a social focus, but it's going to cost you an additional 500 merit to do so. So it's your
yeah,
choice.
stealth focus.
All right, cool. All right, so as a stealth focus, when we're choosing skills, and I'll remember this for you, but something you'd want to note down is you get 2 of the following skills for free, meaning that they don't count on your total number of skills that you learn. They're free skills that you pick up somehow, right? But you also get to choose 2 new abilities because of your social focus. We'll get to that in a second. As a social focus person, stealth focus. Why am I saying social? As a stealth, you gain a +5 to your agility right off the bat because that's what your focus is. And then you get to decide, do you want a +5 to your perception, strength, or charisma?
Perception.
Are you confident in that answer? Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun. All right, perception. All right, and a +5 in your perception. Oh my God, look at your agility. It's 103. Oh, you're just fast, dude. You're slow but fast. You're hand fast. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this so we can focus on other stuff. So I'm just gonna grab these guys and I'm gonna take them and I'm going to paste them into your character sheet. What? 103. Oh.
That should be interesting.
And your perception. Well, so agility and perception is actually what builds is the basis for your physical defenses, right? Allowing you to avoid getting hit. Now, remember, Legends of Kratos is a roll under, count successes, active opposed system. So when I attack you, I'm going to get a certain number of successes. You get a defense against that, and your goal is to meet or beat the total number of successes I have. However many successes you get reduce my total number of successes. And that's the crunchy part right there, right? So not too bad, not too bad. So your base movement is 10. Your initiative is 21. That is awesome. You'll be going up very fast. Now, we'll get to all these secondary ones in just a second. So I'm going to kill this sheet right here. No, I don't want to save it. And then we're going to put in the the modifiers automatically generate. But in case you're rolling it with paper, we got a modifier table here. And it's a simple table. It starts off at a base of 50. And every 5, it goes up by +1. So 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, makes it kind of easy to remember. Now, bonus abilities. You get 2 bonus abilities from the stealth focus. Let me know which ones you want to take a look at, and we'll go take a look at them.
All right, so let's just take a look at the first one. Movement.
Antaki Movement.
Yes.
So Antaki Movement is a very interesting ability. Give me a second here. All right. 138. So Antaki Movement. So some of our abilities have multiple tiers in them. So you can take them more than once, but you can't take them until you reach a specific rank. So Heroic is the first portion of that ability that you'll gain right at first rank, right? So if you come in later and you're like, hey, you're 10th rank and you want to take Antaki Movement, great. You get Heroic. You can take Heroic the first time you take it. Then you can take Legendary the second time, and then Epic the third time and be caught up, right? So with Antaki Movement, basically you are able to project an illusion of yourself up to 5 feet plus 1 foot per rank to a maximum of 20 feet away from where you actually are. The character that may attempt to slip away from the area, those that are watching that you must make a perception check at a TS of 1 per every 2 points of your willpower modifier to spot you as you leave the area. Any creature making an attack on your image misses their first attempt at you, and those that continue to attack the target after the first attempt must succeed on a perception check or continue to attack. And if this image lasts for 1 turn per willpower modifier and can be used as a simple action 3 times per day.
That is an interesting. I mean, that's a great way to get away.
It is. Then there is a Boreal Movement. So I'll give some of these explanations to you so we don't have to go see it. A Boreal Movement allows you to run across like the tops of trees on very thin ropes, small ledges, and those kind of things, right? Corner of your eye is kind of like you see things out of the corner of your eye that most people don't see, like apparitions, like ghosts and those kind of things. So you can actually see those. Deft Walk literally allows you to walk on walls, in a sense. Escape allows you to escape the bonds. Like if you're ever like in handcuffs or tied up by a rope, you can escape. Just escape. That's just how cool you are. Expert Leaper allows you to really leap very far distances. Gives you bonuses to that. Expert Grappler means that when you go to grapple somebody, you gain bonuses in trying to wrestle them. Featherfoot means that you can move across a surface without making sound. Increased speed, obviously, increases your speed, your movement. Kuji Rajia are a set of powers that allow you to pull on your internal willpower to create effects that affect you. Like you can create Kujaraji armor. You can heal yourself, or at a higher rank, you can heal somebody else. Just a small amount of health points, not a lot. Misdirection basically allows you to confuse your enemies and get them going in a different direction while you escape in a different direction. Open says me that at a certain level, you can just tap on a lock, and with this ability, it will instantly open for you. Now here come the cool ones. Shadowcraft is your ability to link into shadow abilities and manipulate shadows around you. Surgical Strike allows you to use your perception modifier when you're hitting with weapons that like bows and crossbows, pistols, rifles, what have you. Okay? And then Shadow Data allows you the ability to tap into other shadow-like abilities. And we can take a look at both of those if you want.
Open Sesame and Shadowcraft, I think, are. I think that's what I want to go with.
All right, Open Sesame. So we'll grab that guy right there, and we'll pop into your ability section. And Shadowcraft or Shadow Data? Shadowcraft, right?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to take a look at both of those real quick to determine which one you want to really
Yeah.
take a look at? All right, so we'll just go take a look at those real quick. All right, so so Shadowcraft at your heroic level, I determine one spell that you get up to a PR4 spell as an innate spell. As your GM and knowing this, I would probably give you like an essence spell, or probably an air spell, or something that I feel is cool and will really work with your character. That's what you get at heroic rank. Okay?
Okay.
And then Shadow Data. Shadow Data is a little bit more touched into the Prima Aetheris, which is our shadow, the realm in between the shadow realms. This one allows you to engulf yourself in an aura of shadow equal to 3 times your size, engulfed in darkness, and granting you the bonus of to evade and stealth skills, as well as your physical defense. You gain 100% concealment, and this aura lasts for 1 turn per willpower modifier. Interestingly, if on the legendary, when you become 5th rank, you can teleport from one shadow to another shadow, as long as you're able to fit within that shadow. And being a small creature, there's not many shadows that you won't be able to not fit into.
Yeah, I think that one is gonna end up being better.
For what you
The
want to
Shadow
do?
Data.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right. Shadow Data. Now, don't get me wrong. Shadowcraft, it starts off with giving you a power rank 4 spell as an innate ability. It gets crazy after that. I mean, it gets like really crazy. But we will definitely do that. So Open Sesame.
And how often do you get new abilities? Do you have to spend the what did you call it? 500 whatever
We will
to
get
upgrade that?
we will get to
Okay.
that. But every rank you go up, you gain 1 new ability. Um, and and like I said, some abilities have tier abilities in them, meaning that you can't take the next tier until you reach the minimum rank for that tier. If that makes sense. So Open Locks check is just at a -50, and it'll open up for you instantly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at a -50 for your open lock checks. But all you have to do is just tap it. It'll get better. And then Shadow Data, which is next one over, and you. I'll just grab the whole thing and I'll modify it. Aura of Shadow. 3 times size. Granting Bonuses. Granting bonus. Normally what I would say is at this point is just write down the page number. That way you can come back and refer to it. But since we're here and we're Twitch streaming, might as well do it this way. And this is equal to 5. Do you have any questions so far?
No. I'm kind of interested in how this is going to go.
So basically, it's on until it's not on, right? You know what I'm saying? Once you turn it on, it'll stay on until you attack from the shadows.
Nice.
I'm eating. I hope you don't mind.
Nope, not at all.
All right, so that's it. We are essentially done with the basic creation of your character.
That was really fast.
Now comes the hard part.
Oh, okay. You did say basically done.
Yeah. All right, so this is the next part is the actual crunch of the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to determine some things. So, like I was saying, your health points, which are a real thing in this game, they're not an abstract thought like hit points, right? Which are your bumps, your bruises, and all this. And you're as effective at 1 hit point as you are at 90, right?
Mm-hmm.
Health points here, if you get hit and you get to like half your health points, you suffer minus successes to all your physical attempts. When you're at a quarter, you suffer another certain amount of successes against your attempts. So it's meant to show a wearing down of the character.
That's really cool.
As a small character, you start off with 20.
That'll suck, but
Plus
you
your
know.
stamina modifier, so you've got a whole of 22 points. Now, if you'll see here, once you reach 11 health points, you suffer minus 3 successes to all your checks. When you're at 6 health points, wow, you suffer minus 6 successes. And
Ouch.
if I hit you, and this is an optional rule. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's an optional rule. I can ask you to make a stamina or willpower check, or die. That doesn't mean you re-roll your character. It just means you're dead. We have ways.
And how does I was going to say, how does death work in this system?
Basically, we take the character sheet out back, we dig a little hole, throw it in there, and we say some words, and we move on. No, so my son plays in my home game, and I killed his character once a couple sessions ago. And if you got certain amount of heroic luck, 10, you can spend all 10 of that, and somehow you miraculously survived that particular encounter. You're at 1 health point, you're at 1 fatigue point, you are messed up, but you are alive, and you can move, and maybe someone can get to you to heal you, hopefully. Or you're able to maybe drink a health potion or slap on a health patch, something to help yourself up, right? If that makes any sense. But yeah. And so heroic luck is very important. So it's very important. All right. So your fatigue points are your stamina score plus your willpower modifier, which is 65 for you. 695. Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right.
Yeah, right? So what's important about fatigue points is that is what you use to be able to cast spells with, right? So if you cast a power rank 1 spell, it costs 3 fatigue for you to cast. No big deal. You cast a power rank 9, that's 88, 81, well, whatever, 96 fatigue for you to cast that 1 spell. You would pass out on casting that spell. In fact, you don't even have enough fatigue to cast that spell.
Mm-mm.
Right? that's why it becomes important. And casters really pull onto that. And we have abilities to make it. We have options as you rank to be able to do that, where you can actually increase your health or your fatigue, depending on your choices. All right, defenses. Like I was saying, your defenses, let me zoom in here so you can see this, are based off of your modifiers and a base score of 30. So on this one, for your physical defense, it's 30 plus your insane agility modifier and your perception modifier. So it's 30, 48 right off the bat.
That's always
Right?
good.
48, yeah, 48. Your magical defense is your intelligence modifier and your stamina modifier. So 30 plus, so it's 38. Not 28, Levi. 38. Your defined defense is 30 plus your wits modifier plus your charisma modifier. So that's 30 and charisma modifier, so 37. And your Gen Hu defense is your willpower and your intelligence modifier, so it's 30 plus, so it's 41. Right on. Don't get hit by anything that's divine. It'll tear you up, it looks like. But this is a first-hand character, and it actually will go up a little bit when you make some decisions. Right, like I said, you're small, so your base movement is 10. Heroic luck is your charisma modifier plus any bonuses. So you start off with 8 heroic luck. Now,
Nice.
ask the next question. I know I can hear it rumbling around. What's the next question?
I don't know.
You're right. How do you gain more heroic luck? This is a very good
Okay.
question.
Yes,
Heroic
absolutely.
luck. You gain one. When you rank up, you gain a free one. You can choose to purchase another 3 in your rank bonus, so you can gain 4. And anytime you roll a natural ot1 through ot5 on your D100, you gain an instant one. And if you ask any of my players, specifically my wife, take all the heroic luck you can.
Yeah, that definitely would be good to have.
All right, so we can either random or just pull out numbers out of our heads for your starting age and your weights. Do you want to just do that, or do you want to do it random?
Random is fun.
All right, roll some 3d10.
8. Oh, yeah, 18.
So what? You're 64, 63? You are 63. Sorry, I'm eating, everybody. I got to eat. Yeah, your average age. And now your height and weight. So roll a d10.
2.
So you're 3 foot 2 inches. And roll another 4d10 and add them together. You're pretty tall for a... Well, I die here.
22.
All right, brilliant. So let's take a look here. So 22, you are 87 pounds. You're a chunky boy for 3 foot 2.
Yeah.
The cats are deciding that they don't like what's going on, so they're going to fight each other. All right, so you vision. You start off with night vision. Only Kova, you yourself, Jakara, Canis, Rakas, and Trolls have this. The Manics have the best sight. They have heightened night vision, which helps with seeing in the dark and those kind of things, which is important. Now, your encumbrance, which we've already got kind of predetermined on the roll on the fillable character sheet, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So so encumbrance is not the same as how many things you can carry. It's how much weight you can withstand carrying, right? And
Mm-hmm.
each of the encumbrance levels have different penalties for you obtaining that amount of weight. For you, as long as you don't carry more than 54 pounds of gear and other crud, you're not going to suffer any real massive. But as soon as you get to light, which is another 54 points up, 54 pounds, you're going to start suffering issues, right? You're going to start suffering movement penalties, fatigue costs. I got to take my brain medicine, and all that other good stuff. So that's already. So like none, no big deal. When you're at light, you lose 10 fatigue per hour, which isn't too bad because you kind of balance that out with what you gain. Moderate, your movement is reduced to 3/4. Can you imagine being reduced to like 7 feet movement for your size? I'll catch up to you
Yeah,
guys.
that'd be crazy.
And you lose 20
Yeah.
fatigue per hour. When you're at severe, which is generally up to 6 times your strength, your movement is reduced to 1/4. All your physical checks are at -10 success penalty, and you're losing 80 fatigue every half hour.
I would die in a half hour.
You would like pass out in 2 seconds. Right? So initiative is already pre-generated on the fillable character sheet, but it's agility modifier plus your perception modifier and your wits modifier. When we decided to do that because determining who goes first is very important, right? Or who gets to attack first. And we believe it's not only based off how fast you move, it's based off of how perceptive you are and how fast you can determine a situation is not a good situation for you to be in, right?
Yep.
So there we have that. Now the next big question in your now we're getting into character development.
Okay.
Philosophy. It's nothing like alignments. Just not. It's just not. Philosophy are 3 philosophical codes. Are you good? Are you neutral? Or are you going to be evil? If you're good or evil, you have to work to be those. You have to gain philosophy points, or you just slip into becoming neutral. Neutral, 99% of the population is neutral. They do some good, they do some bad, and in between, you have all the other fun stuff. But if you become good, you can become devoted good, which means you get bonuses in actions against evil, and if you become devoted evil, you get bonuses against good. So what do you want to do? Jerk out, you can be what you want. But if you are evil, just because I can see your brain, I can see that in your eyes, like, I'm gonna be evil. You have to work at it. That means you have to do evil acts occasionally. Otherwise, you slip into being neutral.
And stealing from people is not considered an evil act, or is it considered an evil act?
Yeah, it's not really an evil act. I mean, it's not. It's an inconvenient act for the other person, but it's not a blasphemous act. It's not like a sinful act. I mean, killing somebody just because you didn't like the cut of their jib would be an evil act. Sacrificing other people because you just feel it's fun would be an evil act.
I think he's gonna have to go with neutral for now because I wasn't planning on killing anyone.
Randomly. Well, killing in self-defense is different. It's not necessarily good or evil, but that depends on your perspective. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, no. I think
so we can skip all that.
it's more of a thiefy type character, but I wouldn't really say he's going to be evil. At least not at this point. Maybe later on, but
Maybe later on. Well, and again, you have to work to be evil. You have to work to be good, right? I mean, it's not a matter of, you just wake up one day and I'm going to be good. No, you have to work to be good because those give you bonuses, right? So the next portion of this is choosing your motivations and your aspects, right? These are the things that really drive your character. And they are also associated with giving you motivation specifically are associated with giving you bonuses to your reputation right off the bat. So you need to choose an aspect. I will scroll up just enough so you can read, and when you get down to lighthearted, let me know and I can scroll it down. These are important in the fact that you can at some point call upon the game master to say, I want to invoke my aspect or my motivation, which can give you bonuses to your skill checks and things like that. But if you mess it up, you're messed up, dude. It will backfire on you pretty badly. And again, these are role-playing tools that allow you to figure out what what drives your character. You know, and we
Yeah.
can make one up if there's something here you're like, well, none of these really match what I want to do or what I feel. Then we can, as GM and game and player, we can make one up. But let's try to stick with the rules for this particular generation.
Yeah. Um, go ahead and scroll down. Uh, yeah, that selfish aspect, I think, is gonna fit him.
All right. So your aspect, you're selfish. Got it. Now your motivation. Now motivations. It's not in this particular copy of the rules because I just played around with them, but they're in the. They will be in the ultimate rules or the final rules.
Hmm.
Each one of these gives you a bonus to your specific reputation, which we'll get into in just a second. That's our next choice right after that. I personally think you're gonna do either possession motivation or mission motivation. Those are my determinations for you.
It definitely possession motivation.
All right, brilliant. Now, possession motivation gives you a +5 to your renown reputation. So we'll put a +5 there. Now, reputation, there are three types. There's honor, influence, and renown. Honor is your reputation with the leaders of an area, like the mayor, say the sheriff, maybe even the kings, or or viziers, or what have you, of the different regions. Influence is how much influence do you have in those regions. Renown is how well are you known among the normal populace. You have a renown of 30. Good or
Okay.
bad, you have a renown of 30. Now, here comes the real hard decision. And this is going to take a minute for you. I'm going to help you make this decision because there's a lot to read. Your next choice is going to be backgrounds. Is going to be your background. So let's talk a little bit about your character. What's her, Vidal? What kind of background do you see them coming from? Do you see them being like a street urchin? Were they once a knight errant that kind of messed up? Were they a what do you see them as?
Um, that's a good question.
Or her? We haven't decided that yet.
Very true. Um, I mean, street urchin would kind of fit, but um,
So we have acolyte, bounty hunter, clan enclave, cathologists, which are the people that are really into like demonic lore and other lores, criminal, ex-legionnaire, a guildling, hermit, which I don't see fitting, knight errant, maybe, local hero, possibly, maybe. Hey,
I
Robin
mean,
Hood,
yeah, I was just about to say that too.
Metropolitan, monk, organization agent, impossible mission force, rustic villager, sage. No, you're not a sage. We know that. Soldier, tribal state, urchin, watchman, or wanderer.
I think criminal would probably be the best fit for him.
All right.
Although I didn't. What is knight errant or whatever it was?
I'm so hungry.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I think criminal would probably be the best fit for him.
Now, with each of the backgrounds, we've given you hooks. Not to use them, but we want people to be able to say, yeah, okay, oh, that's a great idea. I want to run with this idea, or I want to run with that idea. So you can decide your own hook if you're playing for a long-term campaign, right? Now, from your background, you gain a plus 10. These skills down here, you gain a plus 10 to any one of those three. So choose three of them.
Alertness.
Okay? It's a plus 25 now.
Um, sleight of hand and stealth.
Sleight of hand. All right. So sleight of hand is at a plus 20. And stealth, which is a base of plus 10. Now, of those three skills that you chose, one becomes a super focus for you. Is it going to be alertness, sleight of hand, or stealth? It gains an additional plus 10.
Well, with his shadows, you know what? Let's do alertness.
You really want to think about that?
Well, you know what?
I mean, your alertness is at plus 25 right now.
Yeah.
That your alertness skill is going to start off at a base of 65, base of 75 right off the bat.
You know what? Let's do stealth.
I think that's the better choice, personally. Right, so plus 20. Now, you get to choose one of these bonuses. You get only one of them.
Health.
Health?
Definitely health.
All right.
Well,
Health. I need health. All right.
yeah, but +5 to heroic luck would be nice too. But yeah, let's go with health.
Your choice. Do you
Cause
want to flip a coin?
I'll do odds and evens. Do that. Actually, heroic luck was what I rolled.
Now, here comes the real question. You've let something determine what you want to do. Do you still want to do that?
Yeah.
All right, 22 and plus heroic luck. So that takes you to 13 heroic luck. Ooh, unlucky. 13. You're dead. No.
Hey, I got the 10 points. I'll come back. It's all right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right. So we are done with your character creation at that point for all of that stuff. Now, you asked about merit determination. Hey, Haas0312, thank you so much for the follow. All right. So merit determination. Like I said, at some point in the last hour and 14 minutes that we've been having fun hanging out, I told you that you get to build your own experience table, right? So that means, unlike, say, I'm going to use Dungeons and Dragons because everybody knows Dungeons and Dragons, right? Let's just use that. In
Okay.
D&D, for any character to go from first level to second level, you need 300 experience points, right? If I remember correctly, unless they changed it just recently, but that's what I thought it was.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think that's what it is. Here, you get to determine your base, how fast you go up in rank. There are two numbers that will never change. That is going to be your species merit cost and your focus cost. And I will bring this character sheet back over here. Here's where we put this down. So your species cost is going to be based off of, and I'll zoom in here so you can see. You are a Havattu. So your base is 1,200 merit points right off the bat, just because you're a Havattu. Because you're special. Your focus, because you are a stealth focus, is only 350 right here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is 350. Now the campaign merit cost depends on me as the GM how difficult or how awesome I want how fast I want the campaign to go. As a standard campaign type, it's going to generally be 400 multiplied by your rank per rank that you have to earn. So right off the bat, first rank, you're going to need 400 merit point there, and then we're going to choose your first ability. We're going to do that in just a minute, and that's where that's going to go, and we'll figure that out. So for you, and let's just say it's 1,000 merit. Let's just say, just so we have something to talk about. Your next rank, for you to get from first rank to second rank, is going to be 2,950 merit that you have to earn. How do I earn merit? I heard you ask.
Yeah.
Merit it's not experience in the same way that other games treat it. Merit is merit. You gain merit based up. Yes, do you gain merit for killing things? Yes, but not as much as you think. And so, like, if you're like, did you ever play World of Warcraft?
Not really.
All right,
I mean,
so those of us who played World of Warcraft when it first came out, we would do what's called the level grinding. You know what the level grinding is?
yeah.
Basically, you go out and you kill a bunch of cows. You keep killing a bunch of cows to get your first, second, third, fourth, fifth level. You can't do that in Legends of Kratos. So like if you go out and find a clan of Kazanarks, which are really itty bitty and they're first rank characters, first rank monsters, you don't gain that merit anymore after a certain rank because it just doesn't matter to you. So you always have to challenge yourself by taking on bigger, badder, and more monstrous monsters to gain the merit. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything.
Do you gain merit for actions you take in the game?
Actions you take, the way you roleplay your character. Are you adhering to your motivation and your aspect? Are you playing your philosophy correctly? Are you bringing the GM snacks like you should as good players? These are we call those ad hoc merit, right? There's even a merit.
Mm-hmm.
There's even merit in there for you telling me, like, okay, hey, Kirbyus, give us a recap for last session. All right, great. How'd your character feel about that? Great. I will add that into the total merit at the end of the session that I'll give you. And you can do different ways. The GM's guide has got different ways of giving out merit. You can do the everybody gets 2,000 merit right off the bat, and that's just how you just do it. You don't have to worry about calculating. Everybody just gets 2,000 merit, but it also doesn't give you like what's the one term that everybody uses? Milestoning, right? We have milestones, but not everybody's in Legends of Kratos. Not everybody's going to have the same merit points needed to go to the next rank. So 2,000 may get you there. It may leave you alone, what have you. Now, if you gain more merit than you need to go up in rank, that merit goes away. It doesn't roll over. It just goes away.
Interesting.
And it changes. So like I said, this number right here and this number right here will never change. This number will always go up by 400, and this number will change based on the ability that you're taking at the next rank.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I don't know if it makes sense. Sometimes I don't make
absolutely.
sense.
Because, uh, like, if you're just going for a heroic ability, obviously it would be cheaper than a higher level ability.
And here's the rub. You could decide one rank, I'm not taking an ability, so you can rank up faster.
Ah, okay.
So if you chose not to earn a rank or gain an ability at first rank, it would take you less than 2,000 merit to gain a rank, which is approximately, if I'm giving out just 2,000 merit per rank or per session, your first session you'd be second rank. If I'm counting out the merit, it could be 1 to 2 sessions, maybe 3.
Okay.
You're not asking a lot of
But it
tricky
seems
questions, man. I'm disappointed.
it seems like that would kind of stunt your character's growth if you weren't taking an ability uh
Have you ever
at
seen?
each rank.
You're right to a point. Have you ever seen Batman versus Superman?
It's been a long time. It's been a while.
You know Superman. You know Batman has killed Superman, right? Has killed him.
Yes.
Who has more skills, Batman or Superman?
I would say Batman technically has more skills.
Who has more power?
Superman.
Because he can fly, he can hit you with energy weapons, he can frost
Hmm.
breath you. Cool. Batman's got the skills, the money, and the capability of taking out Superman. So your skills, you could have in the same party a third rank spellcaster who's very awesome at casting spells, but you've got a fifth rank character who's got some seriously awesome skills and defenses and can get through a lot of things a lot faster.
Okay.
It's
So
a,
it goes both
it
ways.
goes both
Okay.
ways, right? It's an option. I'm not saying you want to take the option, but it's an option, right? I
Yeah.
mean, currently right now you've got 4 abilities right off the bat, right? I mean, think about it. So you've got Child of the Mist. Every rank,
Hmm.
there's a 5% chance every rank of simply being missed. So that's 5 ranks. By the time you're 5th rank, you're going to have a 25% chance of being missed, just right off the bat. Curiosity, that's that. The shadow
Mm.
data. You can create a shadow around yourself, and you gain bonuses of +5 per every 25 points of willpower, and you gain 100% concealment. For a thief, you're all about the skills, baby.
Yeah.
But yes, you could take. There are abilities that will enhance it, absolutely, but you don't have to, right? You don't have to,
Yeah.
right? And we have a lot of questions. Well, what about power gamers? We love power gamers. We love you to min max. We love you to make your most efficient character possible because Legends of Kralis doesn't care. You can be a 15th rank badass. You've got armor up the wazoo. You are carrying the blades of Karutak, whatever, right? And you can strike a dragon down with one blow. Great. Here comes the first rank character that gets a crit. Then that crit explodes. Then that crit explodes. And now he's got 30 crits on you. 30 successes of crits on you. With his little dagger, he sticks you. You fail your physical defense. He does 250 points of damage to you. You absorb, let's say your armor absorbs 100 of that. Oh, let's make it even better. Absorbs 150 points of that because you're out there slaying dragons. But
Hmm.
you've only got 60 health points. You're dead.
Wow.
Kratos, Legends of Kratos doesn't care about your
So
affecting that in that sense.
the like on an attack defense situation, you actually have to roll for your physical defense.
Yes, when I attack you, you have to make a physical defense. If you choose not to, and you're like, I'm just gonna take it. All right. Good luck. You know. But yeah, you have to make a physical defense. It's an active opposed system, right? You attack me.
So there is no like armor class, so to speak.
There is no armor class. You have armor that absorbs damage. Absolutely. You can have shields that can absorb all the damage from one attack. It shatters your shield, but it's done. Um, but it doesn't. There's no armor class. There is no question. Does a 51 hit? Uh, I don't know. I've got 12 successes. Would you get? Oh, I only got 3, so I'm going to hit you with 9 successes worth of damage. Oh, by the way, I'm wielding an Imperial sword that does 9 points of damage per attack per success. I'm doing 81 points of damage to you. Oh, you've got armor. Okay, what kind of armor? So your armor absorbs 12 points. All right, I just hit you for uh, 69 points of damage. How much health do you have? I've got 70. Shit.
Then you would have to roll for the death, right? Do you die or not? The
Right.
since you're below the.
Well, and again, that's an optional rule. You don't have to do that. But
Oh,
if
okay.
I hit you at holding 0, which is you go to 0, you get a chance to what's called holding 0, continue to stay in the battle, right, at all times, and do what you're doing. It just there's all kinds of ways to manipulate this to make it different. That's where it gets crunchy. That's where it gets real. Where players like, damn, I'm gonna die here. Oh, but guess what? You've got heroic luck. Heroic luck. I spend
Hmm.
5 and I completely ignore that 5,000 points of damage you just dealt. And the GM goes, damn it, I was hoping to get you this time. It's just the way the system's built. The system's built to be deadly, but you can curb that deadliness with your choices, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I really like that. I like that a lot, actually.
And then we'll get into this a little bit later, when you decide to rank up. So you get rank bonuses. Rank bonuses are a choice that you have to make. You gain one for free, and then you can buy each one of the other ones for 300 additional merit points for each one of those, right? So you could choose new skills. You could increase your health points. You can increase your fatigue points. You can also increase your attributes. Maybe you can spend some time at the gym. You know, maybe you can spend some time with the local sage and learning, and so you increase your intelligence. You can increase your luck. Insanity is a real thing in this game, and sometimes you may want to get rid of some insanity, so you take a restful stay. Respite means like, I really don't need this. Respite is there are creatures in Legends of Kralis that can give you negative ranks, and negative ranks stack. They don't reduce your level; they just pile negatives on top of you, and some of them can be detrimental. So you have to like, all right, well, on my next rank, I'm going to do a respite and get rid of a level of rank of negative negative rank, so I'm good. And then there's retrain. Maybe you pick up an ability that you're like, you know what? I don't really like this ability. It's not working the way I want it to for my character. Great, relearn it. You gain half the merit back, so you can repurchase another ability.
That's cool.
And then one of the things that we actually do here is, and I'll zoom out, is we give you Legends of Kratos categories, because not everybody's going to come into the system or play the game going, I know what I want to play. Well, if I want to play a fighter or warrior, what do I need to do? So we go through, what species, your attribute scores are more important, the focuses, which are important, your skill selections, and all of those. So if you came into the system, you would be able to do, come here and look at the thief, spy, assassin, or bard, and this will help you determine all the stuff that we've just spent the last hour going through fairly quickly. It'll tell you where to go and how to get there.
That's really cool to have in a book because sometimes you're trying to build a character like, well, what kind of skills should I have and whatnot, but that if it's already in the series to kind of explain it to you, that's really very handy to have.
And this is to help those who are coming from systems, not just necessarily D&D, that have classes, professions, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're a classless system, how do you make one transition to the other, right? You have me here helping you. Like, oh, what kind of character do you like playing? I like playing a rogue. Fantastic. Let's go down this road. We've tried to make as many road maps to the same mountain and to the same mountaintop as possible. All right. We're almost done. But we're having a good time. I hope you're having a good time.
Yeah, no, this is I'm having a good time learning the system, learning how things work.
So,
Because it's been a while since I played random systems that I didn't know.
okay, brilliant. So now we're going to do your skills. Now your skills are 6 plus your intelligence modifier. Your intelligence is 6, so you get 12 skills. Plus, you gain an additional 2. You gain 2 stealth skills for free. So we'll get through those right now. All right, and that's where this comes into play. All skills, when you first learn them, start off with a base of 40 plus the controlling attribute modifier, which is why you'll see here, like Alertness has a controlling attribute of perception plus 25 already off the bat, so you gain an additional 8 to that, so that would be 33 plus 33, right? Plus 40, so it's 73 or even more, right? So it's 65. Yeah, it'd be like 73 if you chose that. So let's get to the skill selections, and we're going to kind of skip this because you don't need to, but it's a cool thing to read through because it tells you how all the skills go through, what happens when you do a critical success, critical failure, stacking penalties and bonuses, foolproofing or automatic successes, taking your time. What happens if I take my time and I really want to take my time? All right, no big deal. Cooperative skills. Hey, this guy over here is going to help me with the skill. Great, do it. How often you can actually retry a skill after you fail, right? So you can retry a skill right after you fail it, but it's a minus 10. And that minus 10 goes to a minus 20 if you keep retrying it. It's a representation of your frustration and the fact that you're not getting through the damn walk the way you want it. Why isn't this working? I mean, come on. How many times have you been outside on your car trying to fix it and you throw your ratchet down because, damn it, I don't get it. What the hell?
Yep.
You take a break, go relax, you have yourself a beer, maybe a Dr. Pepper. You come back, you're like, oh, man, what was I thinking? So if you take a 15-minute break in between, you don't get those penalties. Now, every character has a set of basic skills. I mean, you know how to swim, right?
Yep.
Not everybody does. Most people can flack around in the water. So we have swimming squills. Swimming squills. Swimming squills. All right. So we have these down here in this box, down here in this gray box, which is our basic skills. So your height, your jump is equal to half your height, which is 1'6" and an inch, so 1'7", plus 1 foot per every 25 strength. So you looks like 3 foot. We'll just call it 3'6". So from the ground, you can jump up 3 feet 6 inches, which is pretty awesome for being you're jumping your entire height straight up.
Yeah.
Think about that. Your leap is 5 feet because it's half your base movement. Now everybody looks at this and goes, "I don't understand. I can deadlift 270 pounds." Yes, you can. But lifting is a TS of 1 for every 75 pounds that you're trying to lift. So at the last convention, we had a troll who had the ability to deadlift, because trolls get like bonuses to their maximum lift, 1,100 pounds. 1,010 pounds. Just boom, right? And he's like, I don't get this. Why is this? Like, well, let's take a look at it. It's a TS of 1 for every. What happened here? Someone leave? I don't know what happened. For every 75 pounds. So just for fun, let's bring that up. So he's trying to deadlift 1,010 pounds, right? Trying to deadlift. Divide that by 75. He would need to be able to do that, I mean, think about that. That's 1,000 pounds. That's half a ton. He would
Yeah.
need a strength score. He'd need to get 13 successes. So he would literally have to critically succeed to deadlift 1,010 pounds over his head, which is not unrealistic, right? So
Yeah.
for you to lift 270 pounds above your head, you would need 3 successes. Let's take a look at your strength. It's 54. So that means you would have to roll it's actually 3.6, so we'll round it up to 4. You would need to roll a 14 or less to lift that above your head. Which makes sense. I mean, I'm not I'm fat. I've got the dad bod going on. But I can deadlift 300 pounds. Not easily, and I'm struggling. But I can do that. I can bench press just under 250 pounds. Not easily, but I can do it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, ask me to lift the front end of my car. No. I can't do that.
Yeah, that's not happening.
That's not happening because, I mean, that's easily half a ton or more, right? I mean, engines weigh
Oh,
800 pounds, if not more. So it's not unrealistic, and a lot of people get confused by that. So we just say put your strength score there. So that's what, 54 for you, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah, 54. So swimming is 1 foot for every 10 of stamina. So you can doggy paddle 6 feet per every 15 seconds, which is a round. Your throw is not necessarily an attack, but you could throw a rock and hit somebody, so you have a 90% chance to hit somebody with a rock. It won't do any damage, really, but you can throw a rock. Your fear check is your wits plus 10, so your wits are 69, so you're at 69. 79. Why do we do that? Why is it like 69? We all do it, too. Your horror check is your willpower, so your willpower is 76. And finally, your poison check is your stamina modifier, 60. Now, there is an ability, and we're going to talk about the abilities because I want to make sure you understand that you don't have to stay. We have a whole section called general abilities. But within the stealth abilities, there's one called the Wily Rogue. And one of the first things that happens is you learn how to deal with poisons. And that means you get a bonus to this score almost immediately. Some species, like the Rakos, are immune to poison types A through D and then gain a plus 40 bonus to any other poison check. Right? The Jakara. Do you know that genetically cats, our real life cats, have a very high resistance to natural poisons?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
I'm not saying that they're not going to get affected or something bad, but they have a naturally high resistance to natural poisons. That's not saying like they go out and they drink the sweet tasting antifreeze that they're going to survive that. No. But if they get stung by a scorpion, it's not going to affect them as much as it affects you and I, right? Or get stung by a bee, or get into a fight with a snake that has a little bit of venom in them, right? I mean, a rattlesnake kills everybody. I don't care who you are. They're worse than the black mamba. Rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes are the one snake that scare the crud out of me. They just do. That little,
Yeah.
what the hell? You know, get away from me. That's that, right? So those are your basic ones. So now your skills.
Mm-hmm.
You get to choose 12 skills. You gain an additional 2 free skills from your skill list as characters. So let's go here. Can you see this? Can you see this okay?
Yep.
Awesome. So do you want to start with stealth skills?
Yeah.
Okay. So you gain 2 of these for free. Which 2 do you want for free? Meaning that they don't count against your total number of skills.
Stealth and evade.
Okay, now evade is if you're being tracked or chased, that gives you the ability to evade. It's not dodge, like you're evading a weapon.
Okay. Then stealth and acrobatics, I think.
Brilliant. All right, and we will obviously go off the agility for your acrobatics. So it starts off with a 40 plus your agility modifier, and you see this little box right here?
Mm-hmm.
That means it's a focus skill. So you get to choose 4 skills that are in your focus to be focus skills, and they gain a plus 10 bonus, right? So do you want acrobatics to be one of those? Or do you
You
want to
said
use
I get
something else?
4.
So it's going to start off at a base of 50 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you choose for it to be a focus skill, we'll move it up to 60. If you choose, you don't have
Okay.
to do that. I'm just telling you in the social skills. Why am I saying social skills? In your stealth skills, any one of these, you 4 of those you can choose to be a focus skill, giving you an additional bonus.
Okay, so it has to be within the stealth skills
Right,
since I went stealth. Okay.
right.
So, yeah, acrobatics, sleight of hand, stealth, and open locks.
All right, so we got
Although with my
acrobatics,
Mhm.
sleight of hand, stealth, and what other one?
um
You were talking about open locks.
yeah, but with the um open says me, would that would I really need open locks
Well,
as a
you
skill?
still kind of need open locks because it's a minus 50 to your open locks to
Oh,
do an
okay.
open sesame.
Got you. So yeah, open locks then would be the fourth.
Okay. All right, so this is going to go to 60. Open locks goes to 60. Sleight of hand goes to 40, 60, 70. You're a little thief, aren't you? And then your stealth goes to 70 as well. You're a creeper. You're a creepy, stealthing sleight of hands pocketer, which is cool, which is what you wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
All right, so those are your focuses, and what 2 skills are of the stealth skills are going to be your free skills?
Uh,
We've
that
got
was stealth and acrobatics were the
stealth,
two that I
right?
chose for that.
Stealth and acrobatics. Okay, now you've got 12 more skills to choose from, and you can choose from any one of these.
So alertness definitely
Okay.
uh should be one of them.
So 65, 73. Okay.
Um,
Now remember, you're going to need combat skills at some point. So, like if you want a pistol or a crossbow or a dagger or a sword, you're going to need to pick up weapon craft, and you're going to want to stay with either
oh,
agility or weapon or perception-based weapon crafts. Or you can pick martial arts. You want to be like a little monk dude, kind of throwing people around, whatever you want to do. But try to. So those are the things that you're going to have
weapon
to learn.
craft.
Okay. I'll just put a per weapon craft perception here. Do you want agility or perception?
Uh, agility.
Okay. Um, and I know there's a little stuttering in your voice on that because what happens with our weapon crafts, is what happens when I drag, and when I'm zoomed in, right? So our weapon craft here, right, allows you to use certain weapons based off, and it tells you what it's based off of. So like chains, all chains are agility based. Um, Daggers are agility or strength. Flails are strength or agility. Firearms Pistols are perception based.
Hmm.
Pole arms, agility based. Slings, agility based. Staves, agility based. Some swords are agility based. And then if you want to get into like the heavy weapons, siege weapons and heavy weapons gunnery, which are for the void ships and the airships, you'd want
Hmm.
to do something like that. That's if you're building that kind of a character. Just want that on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's so you have those capabilities of doing that, and then we also have specialty weapons, which are a couple of other weapons that are really kind of out there, like the Meteor Hammer. Have you ever seen a Meteor Hammer? Do you know what those are?
Mm-mm. No, I don't think so.
Imagine a 12 to 15-foot long chain, and on either end of these are iron balls that are this big, right? That you whip around and you can use them. That's a Meteor Hammer. These things are just insane and they're so cool. But yeah, you can become a meat. You can use that or an energy blade, right? If you want to use an energy blade, you need that ability, which is also called a Letal blade. So that's what those do. Oh, here we go. You can pick more than one weapon craft skill too, right? You can have agility and perception. I mean, those are two of your highest stats.
Yeah. So if I went with like a sword and a pistol,
Sure. Take agility and perception as a weapon craft. Is that what you want to do?
so I would have to take weapon craft twice.
Yep. One for each one of them.
Okay.
So now you're
Um,
down to 10 skills if you want to do that. Otherwise, you're down to 11. Actually, no, you're down. So two of them are your free ones. So we'll take two of these out. You've got 1, 2, 3 skills. So you're down to 9 skills already. You take the agility weapon craft, you're down to 8. Weapon craft perception takes you to 7 skills left. If that's what you want to do.
all right. So
Let's feed the dragon, shall we? So cute. Very hungry.
trap craft would probably be a good one to have. Disguise, no. Climb, agility based. Yeah.
Huh. I've got to fix that in the sheet. I did not know it did that. So agility. God dang it, man! I'm 50. Right off the bat.
Haggle,
Haggle.
in case I decide to sell something that I steal.
You're down
And
to
probably
5 left.
appraising.
4 left. Now, don't forget, there's lores, right? That if you want to be like lore, there's one that's like criminal networks. If you want to know, be able to do that. One of my players' favorite ones is funny. He likes to have lore architecture, and he never uses it. And the one time he doesn't have it in his character, we call for a lore architecture. So it's kind of like a running joke.
So yeah, lower criminal networks.
Okay, brilliant. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Because you've chosen the stealth focus, you are able to get an ability called Enlightened. Enlightened allows you to have access to the Jinhu spells of kind of like magic. People ask, what are Jinhu? Just like you are
Yeah.
going to ask, what's Jinhu? Have you ever seen,
Yep.
the best way I can describe it is this. It is the use of mystical hand symbols to generate spells that come from within. Have you ever seen Naruto? The
Uh,
anime?
n- no.
Naruto? People spell it different ways, say it different ways. Naruto or Naruto?
Yep.
Okay. They are a ninja. It's a ninja-based anime, really awesome anime, and they use hand symbols to create these different mystical things that happen. So that's what that does. If you want to do it, you don't have to do it right now. I'm just letting you know that's something you can do. All right, you're down
Uh,
to 3.
that is a good question.
Information gathering,
Yeah, that's definitely a good skill to have.
and we'll probably use your intelligence because that's the higher modifier. So 46. Down to 2.
Uh, read lips.
Interesting. I think you're the first character to actually. No, someone else has taken that, but no one ever takes that for some reason, and it's a good thing to have. Especially with the number of languages that you can speak, you can actually read the lips of all of those. It's a perception base, so it's 48. One more to go.
And search.
Right? You gotta have search. 48. Now, when you rank up, you can decide to choose 2 new skills if you like. When you rank up, right? When you go from first to second rank or second rank to third, whatever, you get to choose 2 new skills if you so choose. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Last but not least is the choice of your ability. And now I'm going to make you feel like, oh my God, there's so many choices. There are 302 abilities from which you can choose. Do you feel overwhelmed?
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
don't. It's not that big of a deal. It only feels like it's overwhelming because it feels like you need to know all of them. You don't. So what we
No.
do is we have our master ability list index. So like those players who are veteran players, they can just, oh, you know what? I don't remember the page where blindside is. Oh, okay, it's a general. It's on page 150, right? As a stealth character, and this is the learning curve, the backwards curve learning curve, um, of any game, right? Any tabletop RPG. The first
Mm-hmm.
time I played a rogue in Pathfinder, it took me 4 hours to make my character. Yeah. Fifth edition took me an hour and 10 minutes because I wanted to know everything. Well, I wanted to know what I could do, right? So what
Yeah.
we do here is we separated all the abilities based off of your focus, right? So you have combat focuses, and then we do a combat ability index, right? Of the name of the ability, kind of what it does, and your ability prerequisite. All abilities have a prerequisite, whether it be based off rank, another ability, or having a certain score within a skill. Okay?
All right.
Since you're stealth, easy peasy if you want to do this. We just go all the way down to the stealth abilities
Mm-hmm.
and we look at the list.
Can you zoom in
I
on that a little bit for me?
sure can.
All right.
I forget that you don't have it open on your own machine.
Uh. Ooh. Oh, I don't think I have the will for that. For Chameleon.
Will of 85. No, it's
Oh,
76.
darn. All right. Perfect sight. Oh, it's a rank 5. Shadow's Secrets. Oh, Bright Eye. What is Bright Eye?
Bright Eye. It allows you to be able to, first, it gives you the ability to see in any darkness or blinding light to 100 feet, and be able to see through any non-metal objects up to 10 feet during the use. Or, as a second option, you can see 360 degrees around you in normal vision.
Yes, please.
So that's going to be your first ability of your character choice, which is
Okay.
fine. I just want to make sure if that's what you want.
Yeah, no. That's, I mean, especially for a thief to be able to see through solid objects.
Up to 10 feet, non-metal
Yeah,
objects.
and be able to 360 degrees. I mean, that's, yeah.
Okay. Your command, your wish is my command, right? Is that what they say? Bright Eye.
And then you said I get one more?
Nope, you only get one.
Just one. Okay.
Just
I
one.
thought you said I got two.
No, so your species gives you two, your focus gives you two, and then you get to choose one. So your first rank character always starts with at least 5 abilities. Right? So Bright Eye. In one turn, so it gives you the ability to see in darkness or blinding feet, and up to 10 feet. It's a very cool ability. I mean, you can literally see inside of a chest if you use it, right? Or you can see through the door that's on the other side. What's going on the other side?
Is there someone in that room?
Right. And you can, let me grab this. You can actually also 360 degrees around you, normal vision, and either of these abilities can be used 3 times per day for 1 turn per use. But there is a fatigue point cost. Fatigue
It
point.
said 15, I
Yep.
believe is what it said.
Yep, fatigue point cost of 15. So that means anytime you activate this ability, you're gonna use 15 fatigue, right? When you do that, now when you reach 0 fatigue, you pass out and you're unconscious for a minimum of 1 hour, right? As your fatigue.
How do you get, how does, yeah, I was fixing to say, how does your fatigue points come back?
So
Like
if you
short rest, long rest
so
kind of thing?
no, well, it can. If you decide to, let's say you're with the party and you all camp for 8 hours, you generally will get back your stamina modifier plus 15 per hour, right? And that becomes important, especially with people who have some of the casters in my live game have upwards of 150 to 200 fatigue points. So an 8-hour long rest, just sleeping, isn't going to be enough. They're going to actually have to just not do anything. Now, if you're just moving around and adventuring, you get 5 back. You get 5 back per hour.
Okay.
But when you knock yourself out, 0 fatigue, you're out, and nothing can wake you up. Which can have its issues when your party's trying to escape the dungeon and they got to carry your heavy butt around. Because
Yeah, my 87-pound butt
your
around.
87-pound butt. Yeah, but think about it when you're carrying around a 600-pound bahul or a 600-pound fur bog or a 600-pound troll.
Yeah, that would definitely be bad.
You may be able to max lift that, but that doesn't mean you're going to be moving like Peter Pan through Wonderland, right? It's not going to happen. So that's it. That's essentially your character. Now, there's another step. If you want to do it now, we can. It's determining wealth and picking equipment.
Okay. How do you determine wealth in this system? Your starting wealth, I should say.
What's your credit card number?
No.
Right? So starting this, we based it off the fact of your starting money is based off your background plus the blessings of the gods and your species type. So
Okay.
you are a criminal. So you're going to start off with
Hmm.
a base of 525, and now roll a D100 and roll low. The lower you roll, the more money you've got. My wife just said, give it all to me." Really? No, it's not the way this works.
I I rolled an 86.
The
Not very
gods,
good.
yeah, the gods don't like you as much as they should. So it's plus 350, so it's 875. And since you're a Havattu, you gain an additional 100 silver pieces because why not? So you've got
Okay.
975 silver pieces in which to buy your equipment. Now, one of the things that I told you in the beginning is that armor is important to what you do. But you've also got to understand that your physical defense is what helps you avoid getting hit. You've got a base
Hmm.
of 48. It's not too bad. It's not as good as it could be. Some species can have physical defenses, and backgrounds can get that up to 58 or even 60, depending on their choices, right? But you're about 50. You're about 50-50 that you're going to avoid getting hit most of the time. But we have armor. Um, I would probably stay either with soft leather or hardened leather because
I would.
you've also got to have a minimum strength to wear some of these armors. So you wouldn't be able to wear any of the medium armors except Larkev, and it's very expensive because it stops. Um, um, it stops bullets, crossbow bolts, and arrows from penetrating.
Be good to have later on in the
Yes.
game, but I think ooh, hard leather, soft leather.
You want soft leather?
Go with soft leather for now.
All
Yeah.
right. So it has an armor absorption of 6. So we will do up here. We will go soft leather. Has an absorption of 6, and there's your armor, and that costs you a whole whopping 125 silver pieces. So now you're down to 850. All right, we
It
got
was 120. Oh,
25,
20.
125,
Okay.
125. And it's fairly available. I mean, it's pretty much available. As you get higher and higher, it gets more and more rare. All right.
Mhm.
Do you want a shield?
No,
Okay.
I don't. I don't think shield would be very good for my character.
All right. Very good. And now on to the weapons. Now you can when you're actually rolling up your character and you really just want to spend some time reading it. We've given all the different descriptions of all the different weapons that we currently have,
Hmm.
including there's a whole other section of pistols. Now we were talking about shield, sword, and pistol,
Hmm.
right? Now pistols. Let's go to pistols first because you need to know if you're going to buy one of those, you need one of those because they're a lot more expensive than normal. Okay, so pistols. I've got to get this pistol art redone because this doesn't demonstrate all our real pistols. This is all whatever those are called, flintlock those type styles. But we actually have other pistol types that actually have things to it. But
Okay.
a pistol, you can also have a rifle, but they're expensive. Pistols do a base of 5 points of damage, and a rifle does the base damage of 9, which is equivalent to a imperial sword, which does 9 points of base damage. Now, the basic cost of a pistol, just basic cost, standard quality, is 500 silver pieces. You can buy a poor quality one for 250 silver pieces, but that gives you a bonus into its malfunctioning. Gives a bonus to its malfunction, and can explode in your face
Yeah.
if you
No.
want.
So, how does that? How does the malfunctioning work? Is it
Good question. So, firearm malfunction and critical failure. if you have a poor item, poor weapon, it malfunctions on a range of 75 through 95, no matter what you roll. If you roll a 75, if you've got a skill of 1,000 and you roll a 75 through a 95, the weapon malfunctions on you because it's just the product of the weapon. It doesn't have anything to do with your skill. It's just the weapon. If you roll a 96 through 100, it's a severe malfunction. Now, a malfunction, when it malfunctions, it just doesn't work, and you have to spend a turn trying to unjam it, right? It's like a minor jam. If you do a severe malfunction, there's a 25% chance that the weapon explodes, dealing D10 times 5 points of damage to everybody around you.
All right. So I guess we'll have to go with the standard quality.
All right. So that is going to cost you. Okay. Now before we do this, the guy that you're buying the weapon from is like, now before you do this, you need to understand this does not include any firearm ammunition. That is a different cost.
Okay, and
so basically what it is your firearm basic cost for your bullets, for all intents and purposes, is lead shot bullets are 1 silver piece per bullet.
Okay.
Most pistols have a capacity between 2 and 6 bullet capacity.
Yeah. So I don't think my character will actually use the pistol very often.
Okay.
So I think go with maybe 25 lead bullets.
Right, so that will be 525 silver pieces. That takes it down to 325.
25.
And you have a pistol. All right, so we'll fill this in right up here. So we will, down here, we will put pistol. And we did take these guys, so this is actually going to be Weaponcraft 48 here, and your Jilly weapon, whatever we choose for that, will be a whopping 50, and we'll get to that in just a second. We'll put pistol, since you're not going to use it as much, we'll put it on the second line, so pistol has a total skill of 48, base damage of 5, bonus damage, because you didn't take Surgical Strike as a bonus, as an ability, you don't get a bonus damage from this, so it's +0. Your strike range is based off of the range, and that's, for pistols, it's fairly large, but your crit range, this is where it gets cool. So normal crit ranges are OT 1 through OT 5. Some weapons actually increase the crit range, and we're going to go back to the awesome weapon table we have here, and we're going to come down here to firearms. Now, what you'll notice here, these don't have a critical range, but they do something different. So pistols have, they ignore 15 points of armor whenever you shoot. So that's an A15. They ignore 15 points of armor.
Nice.
The rifles tend to ignore 20 armor and their two-handed weapons. I went too far. And I believe they also do a base bleed damage. Let me take a look here. I think they do. Let me find it. I gotta find it.
There it is. Firearm damage.
Yeah, firearm damage. They do a bleed damage. So they do two. You bleed 2. You can cause somebody to bleed 2 health points per wound, to a maximum of 10 health points per tune. Yeah, there it is. So the standard critical range for pistols is 1 through 10. Okay. So here, what we'll do is 2 bleed. Per shot, and your critical range is OT 1 through 10. So if you're in a firefight and you roll a 10, you're in a fight and you roll a 10, that's a critical for you. You get to then roll a D10, and it explodes, and you get to roll more damage. So the more successes you get, the better you get. So basically, For every shot that you do, you can cause somebody to bleed up to 10 points per turn if you hit them like 5 times.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then we'll put this down over here. We'll put this in your pouch. You got how many silver? You went with 20, right?
20, 25,
20 lead bullets.
25.
25. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
25. Don't want to cheat you out. 25 lead bullets. All right, now you get to choose your sword. You want to do a sword, right?
Sword, short sword, maybe.
Short sword. We don't have short swords in this game. No, we do. They're called Ravads. Ravads are a small agility weapon. They do a base damage of 3. They ignore 5 armor, bleed 5, and if you're using that, it gives you a bonus to your physical defense of 15.
That's definitely good. Yeah. And how much is that?
It's
125.
125, and you have
Sounds good.
325 left.
Yeah. So I'll take the is so okay. So how does two weapon fighting work in this system?
So you when you go to attack something, you can attack a number of times based off of your weapon craft score. So with one weapon, you can attack multiple times, up to 10, if you have a certain skill score. For small weapons, I believe it's a base of 50. And since you're agility based weapon, you can attack twice with a single Ravad. All right, you get 2 attacks at it, but it's at a -10 and then at a -20. If you have a second Ravad sword in your hand, you can make that same. You basically attack 3 times, 2 with your primary and once with your secondary, and the secondary is at a -20. So when you go to attack with it, your attack score would be 30 for that one, and if you attack twice with this one, it would be a -10, -20, or you could do a minus, 50 and -20. However you want to do that. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't know if that
No,
makes
not
sense.
really.
Ah! All right, so
So if I let me see if I got this right. So if I want to, I can make 2 attacks with the main hand weapon and 1 with the secondary, but it's -10, -20 with the main hand, and then what's the offhand?
-20.
Okay, so it's -10, -20, -20. Okay, now let's just go with 1, for now at least.
Okay, move on. And that also applies with your pistol, right? You could attack with your Rovad with one hand and fire your pistol with the offhand, and it's a -20.
Okay.
50 base damage of 3. Since you don't have Death Strike, we're not going to be using your bonus for your agility weapon, but we'll use your strength bonus, which is 0. Your strike range is 0 because it's a small, short little weapon.
Hmm.
Critical range, does it go up? Looks like the critical range is actually an OT1 through OT10 through 10 as well. And it does all this cool stuff. It's an A5B5 D15, which means we're going to put this modifier right here. So 15. Now you can choose to either add it in total, so it'd be 60, it'd be 50, 63, right?
Hmm.
If you want like that, or you can just leave the 15. It's up to it's your choice. So if you're using the Ravad in combat, you get a 63. Your physical defense is 63.
Okay. And B5 is the bleed
Yeah.
damage.
So when you strike somebody, as long as you stick them, they're going to bleed 5 points of damage every turn on your turn, and it ignores
Okay.
5 armor.
And does that have a maximum? Like if I attack someone twice, does it go to 10?
It goes to 10.
How is there a maximum on that?
25
25. Okay.
maximum bleed. I mean, you can only cut somebody so much before they just start bleeding like crazy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a maximum of 25. I believe it is. Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, my nose itches. All right, and then wait. So that was 125 silver, and since we're doing this for real, that takes you down to 200 silver, and then we're gonna go buy your equipment. Hey, equipment time. Now, we've given you the classic, old school, adventuring gear list. If you choose to do that, we've also included buying packs, adventuring packs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you want to. They're expensive, though, because they include a lot of stuff. Your standard pack has a backpack, your bedroll, a vial of metal eating acid, and that for 150 silver pieces.
Well, I only have 200, and unless that's a lot of stuff to go through. Um, I would take the burglar's pack, but I'm 50 silver pieces short on that. So
Make a haggle check. You're haggling with this guy to figure it out, right? So make a haggle check. Let's see if you can do this. So your haggle is a 44.
so I roll 100. No, no. We'll just say no. 81.
Oh, well, you didn't fumble it. Now,
I
here's
dropped it on the floor and had to pick it back up and roll it again.
okay.
And yeah.
So, well, then you have to re-roll the whole thing. You just don't re-roll the one
Oh,
dice.
1.
You rolled an odd one. I believe you. You rolled an odd one. I believe you. Awesome. So this is what would happen in normal game. Brilliant. So check it out. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. Your heroic luck goes up by 1. So now you're no longer unlucky. You're at 1. And this guy is going to try to... So that means you got 5 successes with that. This is an old merchant. He knows what he's doing. Gray ruffled beard. Looks at you. He's got one eye that's pale gray. Looks at you. All right, I'll do you that favor, but I'm gonna ask for a favor back.
okay. And what favor would that be?
Oh, we'll figure that out
Okay.
later. Yeah. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. You're at 0. You're at 0, and you have got the burglar's pack. So we'll just go ahead and grab all of this and drop it into your character sheet. And you got the backpack. And you also have a small pouch. Everybody's got a small pouch. Everybody comes with a small pouch. And that is essentially it. You've got soft leather armor here. You've got a on your body. I don't know what you're carrying. Shield, none. You know, you can fill this all out if you like. I'm saying, right? So it's whatever you want to do with your character. I've tried to design the character sheet to be as flexible as possible, while giving you as much of all the core stuff right up front. Everything that's on the first part of the sheet you need. So the old haggler looks like he goes, I've got a rat problem. I need you to take care of some rats.
All right.
Goes, down in my basement, some big rats. I used to be pretty good with a sword. Anymore, I'm lucky to get down in my basement and beat them off with my cane. I need you to go down there and I need you to kill me some rats. Would you do that as part of our
Yeah.
agreement? All right. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna throw you right in the middle of combat. Woohoo! All right. So you go down into the basement. He gives you like a little lantern so you can kind of see what you're doing. So you don't need to worry about sight, unless of course you want to go down there
I,
and use your
I have night vision.
night vision. All right. Let me open up the Legends of Kralos Beastry. There it is. And we will use that one. And I will bring this bad boy over here onto this screen so you can see what it looks like. So this is the Hilarious Beastry. It's completely done. And it's fun to do. So we go through everything. We go through, the entries, what's on in all the entries. Basically, your typical stat block, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go through what is good or evil, where we talk about what is good, what's an evil act versus a act versus a good act, and those kind of things, and who is actually evil. And then we go through what causes evil creatures. We do monsters. We get to understanding the monsters. We talk about what plants, slimes, and oozes are, shadow creatures, the undead, which are very, very awesome. We have morale. We have monster AI, which is kind of a cool thing that I got from a friend. Then we have templates. Then we tell you about how, what it takes to train monsters and all that fun stuff. And I just saw a mistake there. But you're going to go down and fight some rats. So let's do this. I think they're called demon rats or devil rats. There they are, devil rats. Page 71. What are these little scrumptious, lumptious little dudes down here? Yeah. He's got 4 or 5 of those down there, he thinks. So
Okay.
So you're going to make your way down in there. Now, because you've got night vision, it's not like pitch black down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's dark. So according to this, as long as it's light, dusk, or torchlight conditions, you don't have to worry about it. And it's low torchlit area, so you're going to suffer a -10 penalty to your physical actions while you're down there. They're gonna, you know what I'm saying. So you have a choice. You want to take the ladder down, or do you want to just?
Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna take the lantern down. Doesn't mean you have to hang on to it. You just got to hold it.
Just gotta set it on the stairs on the way down, so I have
Yep.
light.
That's basically all you got to do. All right. So you make your way down the stairs. It's mildewy. It smells like the old like basements. If you've been in these basements before in real life, you know what I'm talking about. That thick mildewy smell. It's like, ugh. It's moist down here. He's got some boxes, and it's got labels on them and stuff like that. And you can kind of see if you look down on the ground about how far he gets down. Looks like he gets down just past the first step, and you look in front of you and you see a whole bunch of tracks of where he like beats them off, and then he apparently runs back upstairs because he can't handle the rats.
All right.
You're making your way around there. It's not a very big space. It's maybe like a 15 by 15 from what you can tell. It's got boxes and everything like this. And let's go ahead and do this. We are going to go ahead and you're going to roll initiative. So go ahead and roll a d10. All right. And then your initiative is right over here. It's on your character sheet. So your base initiative is 10, and you roll a d10, it's 21, and you're rolling a d10 to that. So what is Vaddu's initiative?
23.
You rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
You must know my really good friend David, who rolls like crap on initiative as well. All right, so the rats have an initiative of 34. All right, make an alertness check, please.
Go ahead. So
73 or less. You need 73. The lower, so go ahead and roll, and we'll figure out. And I'll show you how to figure out successes.
85.
Okay, Okay, so you don't have any successes. That's easy. Roll again, because I want you to be able to understand how this game works.
Well, it's a good thing I rolled one off the table because that was the other one was a 90. That's a 7.
Ot 7. So
Hmm.
this is how you figure successes. There's a couple methods you can do it. You can do a count up, right? Ot 7, so 7, 17, 27, 37, 47, 57, 67. But you don't got 77, so you've got 7 successes there. Or since you rolled an Ot 7, 7 minus 0 is 7 successes. Does that make sense?
Uh,
I lost you
no,
again now.
hang on. So I rolled a 7.
You rolled an Ot 7.
Uh,
You rolled an
yeah,
Ot 7. That's important.
67. That is it. Would it be not be 6?
No, it'd be 7. Because
Okay.
your score is 73,
Uh huh.
right? Score is 73. 7 minus 0 in the tens place is what?
7.
7. It's the same number. It's the same number of successes going either way. Like I said, there's 2 ways to do it.
Okay.
You can do a count up method from Ot 7, right? Ot 7, so 7, 17, 27, 37,
Okay.
47, 57, 67. If your skill was 77, you'd have 8 successes. Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
it's 1 success for every 10 below your score.
Gotcha.
So let's say you rolled a 70 exactly, you'd still have 1 success. Let's say you rolled 73, you'd still have 1 success.
Okay.
Does that make sense
Gotcha.
now?
Yes.
Right. These guys are moving around down there, and you notice as you're looking down, you notice this fat, scab-infested rat. It's fairly large, right? I mean, these guys are 2 feet long. They're like rodents of unusual size, and it kind of rears up and it looks at you. It's going to attack you, and it kind of does that ratish or spits at you, whatever rats do, and it lunges at you. So it's going to make an attack. All right, so I rolled a 79. Its attack skill is 54. It went to bite at you, and it kind of missed. However it missed, it missed. Okay, it kind of lunges at you. Its tail gets caught by the crate, but one of the crates, and it like jerks forward and lands at it. It's got only 1 attack right now. You may now attack if you like.
Absolutely. So go back to my character sheet real quick. So I have to roll below a 50.
Yes, sir.
All right. 13.
So 13. You've got how many successes do you think?
4.
5 actually. 4 is the correct. 4 is good, but 5 is the answer. Do you know why?
Explain it.
You probably don't. I'm just asking. Maybe because sometimes people get it. So the ones place is a 10. It's 50. You rolled a what? A 13.
Yep.
3 is smaller than 10, right?
Yep.
So that's where you get the 5 successes from. Right. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Right. And
Okay, I got it.
And you gain an extra one because you just basically rolled underneath it. That's just the
Yeah.
simplest way to do it. You've got 5 successes in this attack.
Got you.
So you rolled a 13. So 13. So if we count up, 13, 23, 33, 43.
Plus 1.
Plus 1. So it's 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you've got 5 successes. This thing's going to try to seize you swinging with your Ravad sword. It attempts to dodge out of the way. It has I rolled an 11. It has a physical defense of 79. It dodges out of the way as your sword whips past its head, and hitting nothing but air. It doesn't like you. It hisses again, and it goes to bite you again and fails. It rolled 54 or higher.
All right.
Your turn.
So That's a 63, so I failed.
So you failed. All right, so it's going to attack you again.
Um,
It's
but so my first attack I had 5 successes, so is that 15 damage plus the 5 bleeding?
You didn't hit it. You swung at it.
Oh, that's right.
It got its
Okay.
physical defense. It beat your. It got
Yeah,
8 successes. So it met or beat your total number of successes.
got you.
Right. This again. So what you were just thinking was, I got certain amount of successes. Did I should have hit it? It's kind of like that's the D20 mentality, right? I rolled it. I got
Mhm.
this. Did I hit it? No. It rolled its physical defense, dodged out of the way, and then attacked you. Because it dodged out of the way, it slips on its own mud and fails on its next attack. This attack, it's got 1 success. So roll your physical defense. So you need a 63 or less.
Oh yeah, 8.
All right. So you got 5 successes with that one.
So I don't take any damage.
Right. You dodge out of the way. You can
Awesome.
now you can attack back.
And a 56 would not hit.
Nope. You guys are like dodging and weaving, and it's biting at you. You're missing. You're trying to stab it. It dodges out of the way. It tries to bite you again, and it's got 2 successes.
All right, so 46. That would be 2 successes, right?
Yes, technically.
So we tied.
No, it no. So on your physical defense,
Yep.
yeah. So on your physical defense, you got you rolled a 46, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 2 successes. You tied, you clash. It went to bite you, and you stuck your sword out, and it bites the sword. Doesn't take any
Awesome.
damage. It's it just doesn't take any damage. So now you can attack back.
Yeah, 77 wouldn't hit.
You need new dice.
I'll switch to the other set. The other set was rolling crap earlier, and that set was rolling good, and then we'll just switch back now. See what happens. So I missed. It's his turn.
No, go ahead and re-roll it. I'll give you the chance to re-roll it with new
Okay.
dice.
18.
18.
So
So okay, so you're attacking with 18. So that's 5 successes. You've got 5 successes on it. So the look you're seeing now, if you're seeing me right now, is a look of pensive, like, damn it. I rolled a 99 on my physical defense. If you can't hear it,
so that's
my wife is laughing if you can't hear it. Because
I caught up for a second there.
right, so what happens is it critically fumbled its defense, which means you get an automatic 3 bonus successes in your attack.
Okay,
So
so instead of 5, it's 8
it's
successes.
8 successes, and you're using a Ruvad sword, so 8 times 3 is
24.
24 points of damage. This creature only has 12 points of damage. You skewer it. Or, because it's your first combat, how do you want to kill it?
Uh,
Describe to
that
me how you kill this thing.
just straight up slice completely through it.
So
Cut it in half.
Go to cut it half. In the few seconds, so just to let you know, we've only done about a minute's worth of combat, right? In this minute that you
Okay.
guys are dodging and biting, it's biting at you and it's trying to get at you. It finally decides to lunge at you. You dodge to the left just enough to take your sword, and as it comes up, you just take your Ravad sword and you just sweep as hard as you can, and you catch this thing about mid-riff and cut it right in half. Its bloody guts just fall to the ground, and it falls to the ground, and it's got this last whimpering as it just dies. And that's how combat is done.
That's it. It'll probably take a minute to get it all down,
It does.
but
It does.
it's an interesting way of doing combat. I really like the fact that everything is back and forth, you have that chance to dodge or move out of the way. That's really cool.
That's your physical defense. Now, normally, on a one-on-one, if you'll have one or two other characters, so they'd also be going, and so this fight wouldn't have lasted this long.
Okay.
It probably lasted two rounds at most. It probably would have probably gotten one attack, maybe, but there was no crits. And now, had you critted it, you would have just annihilated it, right? Just skewered it, cut it in
Mhm.
half, and move on. But that's essentially combat right there. And that's
That's cool.
and the thing is that's the same way we do all our skill checks, whether it's combat,
So,
casting spells, whatever.
um, and now I lost the question I had.
Has to deal with combat, skill checks.
Yes, it was had to do with combat. Um, oh, so if I had 5 successes, if it had 4 successes on physical defense, is it only 1 success for damage, or is it 5?
It's one because
Okay.
you want to meet or beat. And if I don't meet or beat, but I get 3 successes, 4 successes, those successes subtract from your total capability.
Okay. That was what I was trying to figure out.
Well, there you have it. What do you think?
This is a really awesome system, man. I
Well,
can't wait for
you're
it
gonna.
to be out to actually play.
Oh, you're making me blush. What do you really think about it?
No, it's that's what I really
Really?
think about it. I mean, I love the fact that it's the comparative. So there is that back and forth between everything. It's not, oh, I hit or I do this much damage. It's all right. It's comparable because it has that shifting to it back and forth.
And one of the cool things is that you can change. Like we really didn't get into it, but heroic luck allows you to do a lot of cool things. Like you could have spent heroic luck to re-roll any of your failures. Anytime that
How
you
much?
one one point, and you get to re-roll for free. Well, it's not free; it's the cost
Nice.
of heroic luck. Let's say that you fumble, right? You can spend 2 heroic luck to ignore the fumble. Now, fumbles are weird. Your weapon could drop. You could overreach. You could do weird kind of things in fumbles. In fact, let's go take a look at those real quick. All the way down here. Fumble chart. I like fumble charts. They're fun. So with a melee weapon, you could nothing. Maybe nothing happens, right? You just nothing remarkable happens. You're unable to act on the next turn. You're so embarrassed that you fumbled that so bad. You're like, I'm just not going to do anything. Or maybe you twist your ankle, or your armor malfunctions. Like maybe you didn't tighten up your armor that morning. It slips off and it gets in your way. And you can't really do anything, and now you've got to take care of that. A wild swing. You you must re-roll your last attack against an ally or foe, and if there's no creature in this range, you create an opening. So you might be able to. You fumbled so badly, you can re-roll it, and you may actually fumble hit it. If that's a term, fumble hit. Did I just make up a new term, fumble hit? Maybe you fall prone, right? Maybe your weapon breaks. Maybe you hesitate because you're not really sure about yourself, and so you lose your next turn. Maybe you have poor timing, and your attack is so wretched that you're going to suffer a -15 penalty and a -20 penalty to both your next attack and your defense check. You are so bad in this attack, you shouldn't have shown up. You should have just stayed home today, kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
And those kind of things. So, I mean, that's it. And the combat section is not very long at all.
And for on the fumbles, real quick, what's considered a fumble? Like you like the rat had a critical failure,
Right.
that's a fumble, and
That's
then you would have to roll to see what happens in the fumble.
so on a not on physical defenses. On physical defenses, if you so for any skill check that you make, whether
Hmm.
it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter your competence in the skill. If you've got a skill of 200, there's still a small slight chance that you're going to fuck up, right? And that
Hmm.
chance is a 96 through 100. If you roll a 96, 97, 98, 99, or 100, you fumble on your skill checks. If you do the same, if you roll 96 through 100 on your defense, you mess up your defense so bad, you actually get hit worse,
Yeah. Okay.
right? And especially like with physical. Now, if you fumble when you're casting spells, there's the possible chance that you will summon a random demon, GM's choice. If you do the same thing when you're casting a spell, your deity goes, you know what? I don't believe your faith is as strong as you believe it is. I'm not talking to you for 24 hours. Um, if you are doing it with a Jinhur, you try to summon up the sources of your willpower and you fumble it, you actually give yourself an insanity point and a random insanity.
Nice.
So, I tried to make the game to be as open-ended and role-playing-ish as well as combat-ish as much as possible. And the cool thing is and I'm biased. I've got to be biased. Is you can even have a social combat. During the convention, we had one person because they think it's all combat throwing weapons. I'm like, no, you know what? In the middle of combat, why don't you say, you know what? I want to convince this dude to surrender. And Wesley, who was the GM, goes, okay, roll your convince. He rolled a critical on his defense on his convince roll. The character rolled a critical, got an ot 1. He rolled a d10 again, and got, I think it was 7 or 8 more successes. So he had like 13 successes in this convince check that you need to surrender now. The guy's like, all right. He surrendered, and it was one of the BBEGs that he did this to. He convinced him to surrender. Um, and the way it was described is kind of like that scene in Princess Bride towards the end. I don't Have you seen the Princess Bride?
It's been a few years,
It's been
but
a few years.
absolutely.
So when he's like um, Wesley goes and he's on the bed, and she's about to stab her heart and stab her through her chest. He goes, "It'd be a shame to damage your breast like that, since there's so." And they go through a whole thing, and Humperdinck goes, "You're so weak." He goes, "Maybe, pig. Maybe I don't." And he gets up and he points his sword at him, and says, drop your sword. He's like, all right. That's what that does. So you can actually use your social skills in the middle of combat to have an effect on the combat itself.
That's interesting.
Convince. Maybe haggles the
That's
guy. He goes, hey, I'm going to pay you to stop the fight. All right, how much are you going to pay? I've got 25 silver pieces. No, it's not enough. I mean, you can actually haggle back and forth. You can actually do those kind of things.
that's really cool.
And there's a whole section in the Game Master's Guide about social combat, where you and I can social combat each other. Like, you're gonna haggle me. Well, I'm gonna roll a skepticism because I don't believe you. Well, I'm gonna roll a convince to try to convince you. All right. Well, I'm gonna roll my skepticism again. Or if you got the ability Silver Tongued Devil, you get a bonus to those, to learning to lying to somebody or haggling somebody or convincing somebody. So, and you can do this in combat. You can do this out of combat. It's whatever you want to do.
That's really cool.
Now, one of the things that we didn't talk about is how many actions you get per combat turn on your turn. You get 5 actions, right? You get your full, you get your movement, you get a simple and 2 basics. The basics can be used on anybody's turn, like you're telling them an order or you're directing them, like, hey, look out for that guy, on their turn, whatever. A simple is a very simple action, like drinking a potion, or fetching an item out of your pouch, or dropping a weapon. Or there are certain spells and abilities that have a simple action activation cost, right? They activate as a simple action. Then there's your move action. Now the move action can be broken up into, you can split the move. So you can move, attack, move, and if you have a second attack, you can attack if you so like, and then move again. As long as you break up your movement action and don't exceed your total number of movement.
That's interesting.
And then full action is your full-on attack and spellcasting.
Yeah.
So, well, we've been at this for almost 3 hours, having fun. I hope. Do you have any
Yeah.
questions, comments?
No, I think I asked all the questions that I had. Um, I'm looking forward to actually playing this because it's definitely a really cool system.
So I'm going to save this to my computer, which is a different folder. We'll go to my desktop, and we will save it as. What's your character's name? Yanuba, I believe it was. Aniba? I can't remember. Anib. We'll just call it Anib for right now. Look, I wasn't even correct. It's Vuda. And we didn't even discuss if you're male or female, and it doesn't matter. So there are certain things like a deity. If you want to, your background's actually criminal. And I will save that again. You could pick your gender if you like. You could pick a deity if you so liked, and stuff like that. And your ability, I believe, was 950 merit, so you would need 2,900 merit to go up to the second rank from first to second rank. Cool?
Cool.
Thank you for hanging out with me for so long.
Absolutely, man.
Don't get this very often. I talk back, and I'm a talker. I'll never shut up sometimes. So there it is. There you have it. So I think the next time what I'm going to do is if you want to come and watch, if you want to, I will roll up a character with my knowledge and show you how quickly it can really be done. Maybe we'll do that as an additional video.
All right. Definitely.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me on your busy life. And I know that you're a very busy man, and I appreciate the time that you took.
Absolutely, man.
All right,
it was fun.
All right. I will talk to you guys later. I will talk to you on the Discord and at your next AMDM on Twitch. If you're not following AMDM on Twitch, you need to go follow them. They're a good group of people. Lee's the name of the AMDM. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but I did. Oops. Good people. Definitely go follow them on AMDM. They have a lot of time. We actually tried to watch, what was it, the Beastmaster on Prime Video. Everybody's got to have that to be able to watch that, but that's awesome and stuff like that. So AMDM on Twitch, go follow them, hang out with them if you're here, if you're following me. Otherwise, if you're not doing that, where are you at? I don't know. It's stupid. I know. I'm stupid. All right, guys. Peace.